I'm going to be actually going to an event. This is going to be a Sony event for PlayStation 4 where they're going to be bringing out a truck to North Carolina. I don't know exactly what's going to be there. I would imagine there's going to be food and the drink, and all that good stuff. And I don't know if they're going to make me sign an NDA for anything I see there. I'm pretty sure they'll let me record in there, but I'm not 100% sure if, someone's going to be like, hey, you can't fucking do that. But, if it's on a public street, I doubt they're going to give me too much fuss to show you guys. If there is any games that are like, because it says there's going to be a lot of unreleased games, and then there's going to be a representative of Sony there that you can meet with and everything. And if everything goes well, maybe I can talk about some of those games. I might not record them because they might not let me do that. But for the most part, whatever I see, I'll just talk about with you guys, and as long as they don't make me sign an NDA. I mean, I suppose I could still talk about some things if I sign an NDA. I just can't talk about the games that I see. But yeah, I'll go ahead and let you guys know what goes on. I am going to be recording with my girlfriend's phone because I don't really have a good camera on the go. I just have my webcam, which I use with my laptop. So for the most part, I will just be recording using a phone. If the audio quality is terrible, I'm sorry. There's just, there's limits to what we can and can't do, if that makes sense right now. I am working on potentially having a camera crew type situation where I have somebody recording me if I'm going to be doing a skit or something like that, which will upgrade the quality of my videos later on. But that's going to be a little while, and I'll talk about that later. But if everything goes well with this event, like I said, I'll have a lot more content talking about what I saw, what kind of games, what my initial thoughts of those games are. I don't know if the only games that are going to be there are Sony, which I would imagine they probably would be, or if they're going to be like, third-party games, that kind of thing, things that are going to be on multiple platforms. So I'll go ahead and just leave it at that. I'll see you guys in 1, 2, 3. Ha, ha, ha. Hey everyone, it's Ironheart here, the Iron Gaming Channel, and today we are going to be checking out a Sony event here in Mooresville, North Carolina. I have been warned that I'm not allowed to record any kind of gameplay or anything like that, so I'm sorry guys, but I will be talking about all the games I have played or seen and my initial take on them that are coming out in the future. I can't record any gameplay. I can record the event itself so you guys can see what it looks like, and I can record part of the conference. Let's get in there and do that, guys. Oh no, I figured it was
and I just press it one time. Now will it record all this?
Yeah, it's recording.
Hey guys, it's Ironheart here, the Iron Gaming Channel, and I've had to record this video twice because my cat, my beautiful little Salem cat, my cute little fur baby, decided he was going to drop kick my computer while I was recording. That was interesting. Weird intro, I know. So basically, we got back home yesterday, and I wanted to give it a little bit of time so I could process what I saw and what I played and everything, and talk to you guys about it and think about, what all I saw, just so I'm not leaving anything out. So I got to play 3 games at the Sony event. It was actually really cool. When we got there, they had a bunch of booths for PlayStation VR. I didn't really mess with that because they wanted you to stay till like 6 o'clock for an open booth. And they were going to do a raffle and everything, but I didn't really want to stay for that either because they were going to start the raffle around 5:50 something. And we went up roughly around 1 o'clock. But this is actually a very interesting video because I also have another announcement. I got me a camera now, a pretty decent camera. So it's a little bit better than my phone to use, so the quality will probably be a little bit better while I'm out and about and making videos. I'm going to be getting me a recorder for doing the audio portion because I can imagine the audio on this camera is probably not that great. and then I'll sync it up to the video and so forth. This way, while I'm out, when I record a video, it'll look a little bit better. Because I could imagine, the phone part of this video probably doesn't look that great. But when I got there, they said, hey, look, you got to sign up for the VR stuff. We don't mind you recording, but you cannot record gameplay, no matter what. They did not make me sign an NDA, so anything I talk about in this video is pretty much fair use at this point. But here's what I saw and what I got to play. Very excited that I got to play Uncharted Lost Legacy, try it out. You got to drive around in a little Jeep in a kind of like a Aztec-y looking area, kind of remind me of Crash Bandicoot a little bit, and try out some of the platforming stuff. That was interesting, kind of fun. You get a grappling hook, which is kind of cool and interesting. But I got to play that. I got to play Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. I only got to play as the Hulk, which felt very fun to play as. I got to play as Taskmaster, but I did get to see quite a few characters. Like, I believe I saw Albert Wesker in the select screen. I'm not 100% sure if it was Albert, but it looked like him, because a lot of the time when it came to the Marvel vs. Capcom booth, they had a co-op couch booth, and then they had a couple of the normal booths, and one guy just kept hogging all of the normal booths, so they're like, hey, we got to limit the time on these to a very low minimum, thanks to that guy, because everybody was getting pissed. But I can say Taskmaster, and the Hulk felt really fun and interesting to play. The graphics looked amazing. I'm just going to say this now, the game looks great. I did see Gamora, and, she is playable, if any of you are wondering. I saw a lot of, very cool characters in the game, like, I did get to see, I believe, I can't think of his name, the guy from Resident Evil, the big dude, he's always like, stars! I did see him get showed off a little bit. But on the big panel, on the panel screen, I was going to record the talking panel, but they started playing games, and they were really, really iffy about me recording their gameplay. So, basically, on the panel, they were playing Hulk, I believe, or no, Iron Man versus Ultron, Sigma Ultron. And I just want to say now, Sigma Ultron looks badass. So, but other than that, there wasn't really that much that caught my interest. There was a Forza booth, but I believe it was Forza. Or you know what, actually, I think it was Gran Turismo. Either way, it was a racing game booth, and then there was a Everybody's Golf booth. None of those games really caught my interest that much. Now, the big game, the game that I'm excited to talk about, is Detroit Become Human. Oh my god, this game looks amazing. I'm just going to say this now, if they do it right, this could potentially be a big IP for Sony. Detroit Become Human looks amazing. The graphics look superb. I'm just going to say that now. And it is one of the most beautifulest games I've seen in a long time. It's not an action game, so to speak. I don't know if in the later parts of the game it's going to be very action-oriented, but you go through a hotel, or not a hotel, but like a suite at like I guess like a hotel, or an apartment. You go through an apartment, right? And you are an android. And your name's Connor, and as you're going through this apartment, there's all these like agents around you or whatever, and they're using you as a negotiator to talk to these other androids that have malfunctioned or went crazy. And it's a really cool premise. Like, it almost reminded me of Ghost in the Shell. Very Ghost in the Shell vibes. Standalone Complex, if any of you have ever watched that. Very, very Ghost in the Shell-y with the story. And I love Standalone Complex. So, it's got a very interesting style to it, where you'll walk through an area and you'll see, like, items you can interact with, which will give you advice, I guess, or a hint, like a clue on how to approach a situation. But I did see Connor, and I got to play a little bit of it, but not a whole lot. But for the most part, I got to see the hugest part of the demo that they showed off. And the guy, as he was walking through the apartment, noticed that the android was still there while they're trying to settle the situation down. And he's holding a little girl hostage. You get to see it in the trailer they released recently, Well, as he's talking this little girl down, or this little girl down, as he's talking the android down into not dropping off the roof with the little girl, you see like all these little choices you get, right? It's very cinematic. I'm hoping it's not going to be like Order 1877 or whatever the hell that game was called. It just wasn't that great. But the cinematics in this game look amazingly beautiful. But you go in, you negotiate with this guy, and there's all these little choices on what you can say and how you can approach the situation. And depending on those choices depends on the meter on how you're able to negotiate the situation. So if the meter drops real, real low, the guy's just going to drop with the kid. If the meter gets up really, really high, you might be able to, like, get the guy to leave the kid alone, not hurt the kid, and just, like, maybe change the story. Because I didn't really get to see a whole lot of the effects of what your choices have. But it looks very interesting. Very Telltale, if that makes sense. It's like a Telltale game mixed with Ghost in the Shell standalone. It is a very cool concept. That I will say. But they started doing the gameplay up on the games panel. They had a little ninja kind of thing where they were climbing on the monkey bars and all kinds of like crazy crap. It was a very fun, very very fun show. But me and my girlfriend, we were just like, hey, you know, it's very hot. It was about 90 to 93 degrees, I believe, and we're just like, we just need to get back home. So I wanted to record this video to let you guys know what I saw and let you guys know I will be talking about my thoughts on Detroit Become Human a little bit more as time goes on, because this is a game I'm very excited for. None of this is a paid promotion, just saying now. Like, I wish Sony would give me their money. Please, Sony, give me... Nah, I'm kidding. But seriously, though, it was a fun time. And I hope you guys get something out of, you know, me talking about these games and, you know, what I saw and everything, because I do it for you guys. I love you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.